Hi and welcome to the Running Channel monthly show for September, brought to you by our friends at Wiggle.
We have another jam-packed show coming up, including all of the brand new product launches for this month, like some new TRC garb.
Running news for September.
And stay tuned and keep your eyes peeled throughout the show because we have got a chance for you to win vouchers to spend at show sponsors Wiggle too.
Let's go. September was a busy month for racers as things start to get back to being a bit more normal. Thousands of you lined up on the start line of the Great North Run in Newcastle. The route was slightly different this year with an out and back from the city centre to allow for more space for runners at the start and finish areas. So if you ran it, you were part of what was possibly a once-in-a-lifetime race. Plus, a big well done to all of you who took part on Brighton Marathon this month too.
We understand there was a bit of an issue with the course, but a big well done if you managed to complete it. We also saw the first of the marathon majors in Berlin ahead of a packed schedule going into October. Next weekend, it's London Marathon, followed by Chicago, Boston, New York still a few weeks off in November. So big good luck to all of you who are running these prestigious races.
Where have you been racing this month? Tell us in the comments below and let us know what races you're currently training for too. Next up, it's running news.
Over 12 action-packed days, the Tokyo 2020 Paralympics saw more countries than ever winning medals at a single Games, with 86 out of the 162 participating committees making the podium. That's more than the 83 from Rio in 2016. Ethiopia won their first gold. 21-year-old Tigist Gezahan Mengitsu won the women's 1500-metre T3 in her first major championships. Other countries winning their first medals at a Paralympic Games include Pakistan, Ecuador, Sri Lanka, Costa Rica and United Arab Emirates. China topped the table for a fifth successive Games with 207 medals.
Sticking with the elites, and Britain's Keely Hodgkinson has capped off an extraordinary year of running, winning the Diamond League 800 metres in Zurich in a time of 1 minute 57.98 seconds. The 19-year-old started 2021 at the European Junior Championships and went on to win European Indoor Gold, the British title and Olympic Silver.
Elsewhere, and the Cape Town Marathon has officially been confirmed as an Abbott World Marathon Majors candidate race, the first marathon in Africa to be nominated. Over the next few years, Abbott World Major Marathon officials will be evaluating a number of races to see if they meet the criteria to be added to the current lineup of the 6 majors: London, Tokyo, Boston, Berlin, Chicago and New York, with a 7th added in 2025. It would be so great to see an African marathon added to this prestigious list.
Strong memory. And finally, everyone in the Strava community will now be able to make use of the safety tracking feature Beacon for free from their mobile phone. It lets you add safety contacts who will be automatically notified every time you record in the app or manually text a link to anyone you like. An added peace of mind, especially as we head into the darker mornings and evenings in the Northern Hemisphere. Beacon sharing from connected devices like Garmin bike computers or Apple Watch will continue to be a paid feature.
Now it's time for the Treadmill Challenge with Zwift. This month, we've roped in our cameraman Freddie to take it on. Now, Freddie's a brilliant runner. He runs 10 miles most mornings, but how will he fare on the treadmill and answering some tricky questions about running at the same time? Let's find out.
Okay, you ready?
I am ready. Let's go.
Let's do this. Starting in 3, 2, 1, let's go. What is the longest hurdle event at the Olympics in terms of distance?
400 metres.
Incorrect, it's the steeplechase. Put the speed up.
What?
How many men finished the Boston Marathon in 2018 to the nearest 1,000?
20?
No, incorrect. 14,000. Put the speed up. How many consecutive gold medals did Usain Bolt win in the 100-metre race?
3.
Correct. Next question. In what year were women first allowed to participate in running events at the Olympic Games?
1920?
Incorrect. 1928. Put the speed up. Run Like Hell is a song by which artist?
MC Hammer.
Incorrect. Put the speed up. Next question. The TV series Run was first broadcast in what year?
The TV series what?
TV series Run.
1970.
Incorrect. It was 2020. Next question. Who won this year's Val d'Aran by UTMB?
Courtney Darwalter, I don't know.
Incorrect. Put the speed up. Now, a study once found that by doing a short run while at work, it can increase your productivity by up to what percentage to the nearest 10?
60.
No, 20%. Put the speed up. So what is reported as being the ideal temperature for a running race in Fahrenheit?
Oh God, 70?
No, 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Put the speed up. So to the nearest minute, what is the current 5,000 metre world record held by Joshua Cheptegei?
13 minutes?
Correct! Next one. How many laps of a track do you need to do to run 10,000 metres?
God, it's oh my God, my maths.
Running out of time?
100, I don't know.
No, it's 25. Put the speed up. In what year was the documentary The Barkley Marathons, the race that eats its young, first released?
2008.
No, incorrect. 2014. Put the speed up. How old is Usain Bolt?
He is 37.
Incorrect. Put the speed up. What is the current men's marathon world record?
2 hours, 1 minute.
And
2 hours, 1 minute and 30 seconds.
incorrect. 39 seconds. Put the speed up. Next question. The documentary I Am Bolt was first released in which year?
2016.
Correct. Who was the first male to cross the line at the Western States 100 this year?
I don't know. Pass.
Put the speed up. Where did the steeplechase originate?
Finland.
Incorrect. Put the speed up. What year was Eliud Kipchoge born?
1982.
Incorrect. Put the speed up.
I can't. I'm at the highest speed.
He's maxed out the treadmill. Stop the clock. I think we have a winner. Don't think that's ever happened before. I ran out of questions. We ran out of treadmill.
Yeah. Well, I reckon I could have gone on for a lot longer, but yeah, I reckon another couple of levels, then I might have been in trouble.
You know the saying, don't judge a runner by his trainers? That really goes for Freddie.
That was unreal. Freddie completed the treadmill challenge. He ran out of questions and speed on the treadmill. My mind is blown. What a performance.
Incredible. Now, don't go anywhere. We still have loads more coming up, including your chance to win a voucher to spend at show sponsor Wiggle. Now let's have a look at the running launches for September.
So autumn or fall for our friends across the pond brings with it lots of new launches, including one from us. So we've got a whole new set of running channel tech tees, vests and a really nice quarter zip. You've got a few days left to sign up for the pre-order, so check the link in the description to get your hands on one of these beauties.
They are nice, aren't they? Very nice, soft on the skin. Now, onto shoes, and starting with Under Armour, who have launched the Hover Mega Clone 2. There are a couple of really cool features to this shoe. The upper, which is made of something called UA Clone, moves and stretches to each individual runner's unique foot shape. This is something that was originally debuted in boxing champion Anthony Joshua's boxing boots. There's also a sensor fitted inside the shoe that connects via Bluetooth to map my run, which gives you loads of extra stats about your run to give you ways to improve your performance. That's nuts, isn't it?
It is nuts. Next up, and Asics have launched a new women's collection that focuses on being both comfortable and supportive, the two things that we like the most. So each shoe in the new Nagar collection has been designed to take into account the female running style. The Gel Nimbus 23 and the Gel Kayano 28 models have been fitted with a gender-specific truss stick, an extra 3mm heel drop, as well as a lower midsole density. The Gel Pulse 13 shoe includes additional reinforcement around the heel and collar for a more comfortable fit and better ankle support. And finally, another shoe launch this month, this time from Brooks. So they've added a whopping 4 models to the Levitate 5 range. The brand are going through a whole recategorization of their shoe line to make it easier for us to find the best shoe. So there are 2 different fit options to the Levitate, neutral and support. There's also the GTS version, which comes with Brooks guide rail technology, good for those of us who maybe need that extra bit of support. And then there's the Stealth Fit version 2, which is made from a stretchy but compressive fit upper and also includes the guide rail tech. That's aimed at runners who want a performance shoe but with the supports included.
Next up, it's over to the Running Channel's resident physiotherapist, Manni, in the Physio Room to answer your questions.
Welcome back to the Physio Room with me, Manni, where I answer your questions and help you get stronger with your running. Speed has been coming up a lot recently and people would like to know, how do they get faster and break their PBs? So look no further than these 3 simple exercises to increase your speed. Exercise number 1 is a glute hip thrust. What you need for this is a chair at home, and all you're going to do, you're going to put your shoulders, back of your shoulders onto that chair. From there, you're going to lower your hips and then bring those hips back up, squeezing your gluteal bum muscles as you come up to the top. If you're starting off with this and you've never done it before, the key thing to do is do 6 to 8 repetitions, and you can do 2 to 3 sets of this. If you have done this before, and you feel comfortable, you might want to do them to failure. Squeezing at the top, holding for 1 to 2 seconds. Making sure your head is lifted away from the chair and looking down your torso. That's the glute hip thrust, and that will help propel you and move your pelvis and hips forward when you run. Exercise number 2 we call Haydn's. This exercise allows you to leave the ground, pushing off each leg and working on your ground reaction force. This is going to be important for your running. So what we're looking to do is move in a nice lateral direction. Start off really simply working on that balance, making sure you jump shorter distances side to side. As you get more confident, you can jump further and further. Really trying to ensure that you keep your balance and get nice and low. Start off with 12 repetitions of this exercise. This should be done on your strength day. And really use those arms to propel you. And that's exercise number 2, Haydn's. Exercise number 3 are the Bulgarian split squats. With this exercise, it's all about keeping your stability and making sure that you move in a nice vertical direction. So again, you're going to need your chair. You're going to stand on one leg, take this leg back, you're going to go nice and low. If you can't get this low, that's okay. If you feel you can go further, great. If you're a beginner to this exercise, you might want to start with 6 repetitions. If you feel like you're more advanced, 8 to 10. And again, really advanced, you can try this to failure or add some weight. If you feel you're finding it hard to balance, you can have your arms away from your body or use them as if you are running. Try not to push through your back leg too much. Try and push through the front. And that's it. Exercise number 3, the Bulgarian split squat. Make sure to do it on both legs. If you'd like any of your questions answered, please drop us a message, physio@therunningchannel.com, and we will do our best to answer it at our next show.
Thanks so much for sending in your question for Manni to answer, and keep them coming. And speaking of questions to answer, next up, it's Ask TRC.
If you have a burning question for the team, make sure you drop it in the comments or email asktrc@therunningchannel.com, and it could feature in our next show. First up, Agrias Kilometres has asked, how do you train if you're not interested in racing? You just want to get fitter and healthier. Where is the value for money point between increasing distance or speed?
Now that is a very good question. So we do talk about racing and training for races a lot here on the Running Channel. And as someone who's just been training for a goal race for the last 7 months, I'm actually really looking forward to going back to just ticking along for a bit. So where the value for money point between increasing distance and speed comes in, it's a bit of a tricky one to put an actual number on. I suppose it comes down to what makes you a better runner, speed or distance?
I'd probably say the sweet spot really is getting the right mix of both. We did a video about 80-20 training, remember that one?
Yeah.
So where you run 80% of your runs at a slow and easy pace, and then the other 20%, the speedier stuff, that's probably as close to a figure as you'll get 80-20.
Yeah, you're right, Rick. And then you can use things like Garmin Connect or Strava to track your fitness and training load. And that then gives you an indication of whether you are headed in the right direction for getting fitter and healthier if that's your goal. But overall, if you're not chasing any particular race times, then just going out and running is a good start.
Rohit Jat emailed us from India to say he's training to run a fast 5K to get into the police force. His current time is 30 minutes, but it needs to be more like 23 or 24. What can he do? Well, Rohit, there are a few things you could do to get quicker, and these tips should help you at home too. If, for example, you're trying to get a faster 5K parkrun time, aren't we all? Consistency is the first one, so make sure you're running regularly and building on each run that you do.
Yeah, and get comfortable at the pace that you need to hit. So starting off by doing shorter, faster interval efforts with slow recoveries in between. And then when you've mastered that, string them all together to create one continuous 5K at your goal pace.
But also I'd say build a base, a bit like the 80-20 running that we just mentioned. You need to work at paces either side of your target pace in order to improve.
Hope that helps, Rohit. Finally, we had an email from Kylie from good old Down Under.
Hello.
I did check her email address and it's not the Kylie.
Okay.
It's Kylie Barrett, who wants to know, have you guys ever used the Garmin coach programs for running?
Yes. If you're a Garmin user, then in their app, Garmin Connect, you can access a whole load of different training programs for different distances that tell you what workouts to do when and adapt to how you're progressing. It's really good.
Yeah, and funny you should mention that, Kylie, because I'm about to embark on my next challenge, trying to break a PB using one of their coaching programs. So make sure you stay tuned to the Running Channel over the coming months to see how I got on with that one.
I want to know more.
Haha, that's all I'm giving you.
That's all for now, but if you have a burning question for the team, make sure you drop it in the comments or email asktrc@therunningchannel.com, and it could feature in our next show. Finally, get to know some of our running pals a little bit better in miles and kilometres, where we ask some quick fire questions all about running. And this month, it's the turn of the Running Channel's resident Olympian. We roll him out. Parkrun world record holder and all-round running speedster, Andy Baddeley. And did I tell you I used to be his cross-country captain at school?
I've always measured in miles, so I sometimes try and distract myself during a run by working out what the kilometre splits might be, or how far I've gone in kilometres, because sometimes it feels like it's further. But yeah, I've always measured in miles. I think about my pace in miles, and that's what I understand when people are talking about the marathon, which obviously I've never run, but the marathon in terms of pace in minutes per mile makes more sense to me. I'd definitely rather only run uphill. If I have to choose between uphill and downhill, downhill just jars my body so much. And that's what the next day that I feel painful, I'll feel sore after doing a lot of downhill at any kind of pace at all in a kind of an undulating run over hills. So it sounds like madness to say it, but I think I'd rather only ever have to run uphill. So if it's not winning the dad's race at the nursery sports day, which is pretty high up there, it's probably winning the Dream Mile in Oslo, which was the race that I grew up watching on TV, watching Cram Yvette set world records and win these incredible races. The crowd are really close in, they're right on the edge of lane 8, which is this amazing atmosphere. And the race is at 10 p.m, 11 p.m. at night, when it should be dark, but because it's in Norway, it's in the summer, it's still like fairly bright daylight. And just, yeah, I won that in 2008 in the lead up to the Beijing Olympics, and that's still been the pinnacle of my career, I suppose. So my finish line anthem, if I had to choose a song that was going to be played while I was running down the home straight, I don't know if I could actually be able to run in slow motion, but I imagine that I could. So it would be the Chariots of Fire theme when they're running in slow motion on the beach. And that's how I'd imagine myself, with perfect form, running down the home straight, listening to the cheers. So yeah, the Chariots of Fire song, which I'm sure has a name that I can't remember. The choice between being able to run a faster 5K or a fast ultra is difficult, but only really because of what I do now with the running channel and the fact that I can't run very fast anymore. So my passion has always been track and field, and I'd have to pick the 5K. That's what I know. That's what I guess you can compare across the generations between all of the greatest athletes that have ever lived, and I kind of know where I sit relative to those people. So it's definitely a fast 5K for me. But there's an appeal to taking on an ultra or something now that I just know I'm never going to be as fast as I was previously. The piece of my running arsenal that I don't think I could live without is probably my headphones. So if I'm running on my own, then getting out the door requires, just to avoid all of the procrastination, I need to have something to look forward to, and usually that's a podcast or a playlist. And so taking my headphones and having something to listen to is the thing that keeps me motivated. Obviously I'm running in a group, then it's the social aspect of it that I enjoy. So for me, running on my own, it'd have to be the headphones. It was a close call between that and the foam roller, because I'm always stiff and borderline injured, so, but I'll stick with headphones. The thing that I'm training for currently is to make sure that my children don't look at me and think, how could he ever have been in the Olympics? So that's my main motivation, is not to be so out of shape that my children don't believe that I could have been in the Olympics. So my motivation actually is to get back to a good level on a Sunday, so that the classic long Sunday run with the group of people that I run with local to me, being able to keep up with them for what I'd consider a proper Sunday run in kind of what I used to do, which was about 90 minutes of running. If I wasn't able to run anymore, what I always wanted to do was be involved in Formula One. So that was my degree back in the day, in what feels like a former life before just running around in circles. So yeah, maybe it would be driving around in circles instead. I love everything to do with aerodynamics. I follow Formula One fairly in as much detail as I can. So it would be being involved in that in some way.
He's so aerodynamic, that man, isn't he? I always picture him on a beach, just aerodynamic Andy, Chariots of Fire. That's what he is. Andy, a man of aerodynamics. Don't you just love him? I do. Don't forget, you can win a voucher to spend at show sponsors Wiggle by answering a question about this episode. All you need to do is click on the link in the description and submit your answer. T&Cs apply.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time here on the Running Channel.